Hi, Brendan Fogarty from Dr. Energy Saver by Eco Energy Solutions. Welcome to this beautiful old historic home in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. So one of the biggest things that we're trying to accomplish on this home is in the wintertime, this home, just like many other homes in this area or anywhere in New England, they have a large problem with ice damming. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk around this house today. Our production team is aggressively working on resolving the problems that we found based on the homeowner's accomplish list and what they were looking for us to do. As you can see, this is a really big house. It was built, the way this house was built, it was built in 3 sections. To the left over here, this part of the house was built in 1776. This was the original post and beam. Timbers built with logs from this territory out here in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. As you can see, as you go through, the middle of the home was built in the 1800s. It was added on. Just by looking at some of the chimneys and some of the contours of this house, as you can see, they kept building onto this house. And then behind this big tree in the back is the main house, which is another section of the house that we're treating for the problems based on this house. Now, most of this house is built with a dirt crawl space underneath it, except for the main part of the house. So let's go inside and we're going to talk about some of the problems that the homeowners are having in the house, and we're here to resolve those problems based on our book of solutions. Dr. Energy Saver by Eco Energy Solutions does this every single day, anywhere. As you can see, today we're up in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. You know, tomorrow we might be down in Enfield, Connecticut. So come along with us and we'll show you what we got going on. Okay, so this is the crawl space treatment that we're going to be installing in this home. Right now, as we're working on the attic part of this home. But this is our clean space encapsulation system. You know, anytime that you have dirt floor crawl spaces, this is what's called a dimple mat. So we have to put this dimple mat in there. It has little cups in it that allows the water to evaporate naturally. And then we use an insulation board that goes over the top of that. And then this is our 20 mil antimicrobial clean space. It's 20 mil. You couldn't tear this if you wanted to. This goes over the entire crawl space. What we're trying to do is really encapsulate the entire crawl space. We go inside of here. Okay, so this is a dirt crawl space. So this is the beginning of them. When we're outside looking at the size of this house, this is the beginning of this, where all this dirt picks up all the outside allergens and picks up all the, it's really nasty, and we breathe this every day. So we really want to protect this. As you can see, these old stone walls, they were masoned, but we you know, there's a lot of different treatments that we can do for this basement. But the biggest thing is we have to cover this dirt, right? We have to make this dirt. We have to encapsulate this crawl space. As you can see, what they did up here over years is they just installed some foam board on this this floor. As you see, this is the floor joists of the 1776 home. And just by doing this, you can see all these cobwebs and stuff. It doesn't really stop a lot of the outside air from coming in. I can put my hand right up here. There's gaps in here. People came through and they did some spray foaming. So we really need to make sure that we can make this basement encapsulate the entire basement, not just the floor, because this gets really cold down here in the wintertime and real hot and humid in the summer. And you can smell it right now. It's real humid. You know, you know, that's in all the spider webs. It tells us it's real drafty. I get spider webs crawling all over me. So this crawl space starts here, and I'm going to walk down this aisle right behind you. So this furnace, we want all this heat that radiates off these steam pipes to go up into the floors to make these floors warmer. Some of the problems that these homeowners are having in this is that their floors are really cold in the wintertime. And there's nothing worse than waking up in a cold morning with cold floors. So what we want to do is we want to protect this heat from going outside. If you fly over here, here's that insulation that is going to go on the crawl spaces. As you can see, we got a crawl space over here where that window is. You can see all the cobwebs, so it's real drafty. If you come through this space, if you look back in here, down in this space right in here, you have all this crawl space goes down in here. We can get this from a better angle, but look at all the dirt that's below us. Right, look at all this. This is all dirt crawl space, and what has happened is that we have to encapsulate this. We have to protect this home. So the middle of this house is all dirt crawl space from one side to the other. So as you can see, what we have is we have all this this really short crawl space, this is where in the wintertime it's super cold, because all that cold ground, the frost line, freezes, and it just allows all that it allows all that cold air to conduct in here and make these floors super cold. This crawl space that goes all the way down to the end has to be treated. All this dirt has to be covered. All these walls have to be insulated. These walls all have to be insulated over here, this concrete. And of course we have to take care of the rim joists or the band joists around the perimeter. This is a huge crawl space in this house. It's a huge problem for these homeowners. This is one of the things that they really stressed. If we could take care of this, we have a solution at Dr. Energy Saver, but our solutions takes time to do it correctly. We're not just going to come in here and just throw a bunch of plastic on here. We have to understand the building science of this problem, and we have to fix it based on the building science problems. This is a solution to do this, and we do it right the first time. Okay. You can see that the way that this house was built, they added on some rafters, some wood to extend out the lower part of the living space. What we have to do is take care of that. If we leave that exposed, this is where a lot of the warm air that rises up melts and causes ice dams to our house. So this treatment is very critical to stopping the #1 problem, which is ice dams on this property. So what Joshua and John are doing right now, as you can see that the dormers that are above this porch, we call this a unconditioned space below a conditioned space. So that the air sealing and insulating that wall to keep those floors warmer is critical to doing that. So we have to actually access that triangle to get in there so we can protect those dormers that go up. And it'll stop the cold floors from this space. Okay, so here's a perfect example of why this is how we protect our, in the old way of doing things, is the ice damming is so extensive in this home. As you can see, you've got all this cold air all this is conducting through this porch, and then you have all the warm air that's conducting through the dormers, and that's causing a huge amount of snow melt. And then these coils down below, right, we're paying to thaw our ice out, but we also pay to melt, to waste energy. So we're wasting energy in 2 ways. We're wasting energy by melting the snow above 32 degrees, and then as the coils heat up, we're melting that 32 degrees, we're getting it above 32 degrees at the bottom. So it's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again. This is the newest part of the property. This was built in the 1900s. I have in turn had significant amount of work done up in here. As you see, they put in a bunch of fiberglass insulation, and down in the floors, down in here, this is the original insulation that was blown in over the years. As you can see, it's all dirty and from wind washing and stuff. But what happens is down here in these little corners, the extension of the roof goes all the way down to the other roof, right? So you have a tremendous amount of heat loss that's coming up through here and conducting right through this fiberglass insulation, and effectively making this really useless. So what we're going to do is our super additive treatment up here, and you're going to get some more information as we go, but this doesn't stop the heat from leaving. We have to make sure that we protect the convective air from leaving the house, so it doesn't melt the roof. We have to protect the conduction, which is heat moving through solid surface through the roof, and we have to protect the radiant heat from cooking this house. So in the summertime, right now it's September, in the summertime it's about 130, maybe 140 degrees up here. So you can just imagine how much heat is cooking the rest of this house just by this treatment. So Dr. Energy Saver focuses on making these attics, these walk-up attics, conditioned. So that way they're good for a number of different things. They're good to protect all your personal belongings for years. They're good because they keep all the heat in, and they also stop all the heat from conducting, the radiant heat from conducting in from the sun in the summertime. Perfect treatment for this house, as long as we make sure that we dense pack down these slopes with the cellulose. Now we're going to go over to another part of the home, which we've already worked on, to show you what it looks like after we see this process happen. Okay, so now we're over in the 1776 super attic. This was an unconditioned space, and the other companies is somebody came in and they blew cellulose all over this beautiful 14-inch planks. They used this years and years ago for storage or for everything to make sure that this home had more real estate. So we had to remove all the insulation from this, and right now it's right in the middle of the construction phase of it. But I wanted to show everyone exactly what it takes to be able to get this done. If Jacob, you could scan over and see David and see what David has to do to make sure that the blocking gets done properly. Akil is on the other side he's in front of David, making sure that David's got the blocking area open so he can move with purpose and come right through. This is kind of neat over here, because over here, if you look at this is way out in the woods. This is in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. And we have bats living here, right? So the bats living here, people want the bats to live here because it gets rid of the mosquitoes, right? So it's really important. Once David gets done with this super attic up here, he's going to put a cover over this, so that way, you know, the bats can still live here, but we're not going to lose any of this now that it's a conditioned space, right? So very, very important that we're going to be able to do this when we're done. Okay. All right, so this is that roof line that goes from the 1776 house all the way over to the 1800s house. Now we've came in here, and Dr. Energy Saver provides the measuring cards to really, we climbed in here, we air sealed every penetration, and we blew down each side of it to really do it. So now over here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna extend the super attic, which David's working on right now, over in this hole. He's gonna bring this right around here. We still a lot of work left to do on this house, but we're just gonna take one section at a time, move with purpose, and do it right the first time. Okay, so that's this house. This project is a massive project for us, but we just take one treatment at a time, one problem at a time, and fix that problem. Dr. Energy Saver by UK Energy Solutions, you know, I've been a carpenter for 30 years, folks. I've been doing this for a long, long time, and we are not a blow and go company. We're not just gonna come in here and blow a bunch of insulation coming around. We're gonna dig, we're gonna mine, and we're gonna dig. We're gonna find those problems that's causing these ice dam problems up on the roof. Look at all these coils up on this roof. This house generates more energy in just melting ice dams than they are heating your house. This has got to stop. You know, we're gonna do everything in our power as long as it takes to make sure that this home is fixed the first time. My focus is to 100% resolve the problems in people's homes, no matter what it costs or what it takes, and we are the right company to do it. So give us a call at Dr. Energy Saver, or get a hold of us. You know, 860-219-0499 in Connecticut, 413-347-9455 in Massachusetts. You know, we're right down the corner from your house. A free home energy evaluation, that's where it starts. I got to know how you're living in your home, and I can come and help you fix it. Thank you very much.